Hey, it's Aaron. Today I want to talk about the 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe. This is a big SUV, a full-size SUV from Chevrolet, and it is really nice. So this year, 2025, marks a refresh for this vehicle. This generation came out in 2021. You can expect about 3-4 more years before a new generation of this comes out. So this is about the middle. Most of the kinks have been worked out. They've done a couple of changes to upgrade the styling and some of the electronics a little bit. It is otherwise the same as it has been since 2021. So again, full-size SUV. So all the stuff that entails, including the ups and downs for being basically truck with an SUV body. So you've got a huge interior. You've got a really nicely done ride quality, surprisingly well done, I would say. The touchscreen is huge, so the infotainment is huge. That's kind of a change this year. And then, let's see, and then there's a diesel engine option. So you can still get the 3-liter diesel for this. The seating is okay. I would not say it's luxurious. I would say it's mostly comfortable, but it is not outstanding. There's nothing about the seating that is really going to go, woo, this thing is awesome. It's just good. So most people will find it fine and they won't have any issues with it. But if you're looking for luxurious or higher end long distance comfort, you might have to kind of shop around a little bit or look at like the GMC equivalent or Cadillac. The drive quality is good, but it is a truck, so it drives like a truck. And Chevy did very little to make it feel smaller than it is. It is a hulking beast of a vehicle, and it drives like that. So you do have to be aware of that if you are going, some of those parking spaces and other things might be a little tight with this. That's just a thing. You get a vehicle this size, it's going to happen. It's going to be an issue. Most of the changes this year, the revisions, are to the exterior fascias, so front and rear. You'll see that the headlights and the grille are a little bit different. The bumper is a little more refined, and then on the back you'll see the taillights change a little bit, and there's a little bit of change on the kind of the tailgate and bumper seam, I guess, the way they meet. You'll see that as well. On the inside, you'll see that new screen I was talking about, and that screen is the center point for an entire dashboard change in this thing. So the dashboard is almost completely different than it was before, and that's because Chevrolet is trying to move it forward into a little more tech-centric look. So there's more kind of screen real estate, couple fewer buttons, but not really. There's still plenty of buttons in this. I like the kind of balance they found there. The driver screen is much more kind of tech forward. It's just as visible as it was before. The visibility hasn't changed any. In fact, the placement is pretty much the same, but what you're seeing is a screen or maybe it's just the screen cover. I don't know, but something changed to make it a little easier to see and a little more just kind of tech, right? Just kind of more electronic feeling. So to start with, the Chevy Tahoe is a 7, 8, or 9 passenger vehicle, depending on the trim level and configuration. You can only get the 9 passenger version in the base model LS. From there you go to the 7 or 8 depending on the middle row configuration. A couple of the top end trims do not have a middle bench, so you are at 7 for those models. Now there are 6 trim levels for this thing. Chevy's giving you a lot of options when you design this. So it starts with the LS, then the LT, the RST, the Z71, the Premier, and the High Country top end. You can also get a Tahoe in a larger format as the Suburban. They look and act very similar, but the Tahoe is a little bit smaller and a little more, I don't know, square. I guess. I don't know how to explain the difference in the way they look. It's not very much, but it's subtle, but you can see it. So I'll just kind of leave it there. Anyway, base engine is a 5.3 liter V8, and that is a 355 horsepower power plant. And rear-wheel drive is standard. Four-wheel drive is available on pretty much every trim. A couple of the trims have it by default. And then from there, you can also choose some other options. So on some of the models, you can get a 6.2 liter V8, which is a beautifully purring power plant. It's a wonderful drive. I've driven that in models earlier than 2025. So in last year, and I believe the year before, I drove with the 6.2 in a couple of Chevy vehicles, and it is such a smooth running beauty of an engine. 420 horsepower out of that. And then there's what I love the most, and what I drove this year in this, is a 3 liter 6-cylinder diesel, and that puts out 305 horsepower in a nice beautiful little round of just a nice beautiful curve of power output, thanks to the transmission attached to it. So the transmission on that is a 10-speed automatic. In fact, all these engines have a 10-speed automatic, but the diesel is tuned specifically to the diesel and does a beautiful job of mitigating that kind of, diesel likes to be in a sweet spot. It's a small little RPM band, and the turbo tends to work best in that little band. This engine does a great job of keeping it really close to that band all of the time. Nicely done on that. So standard equipment on this is pretty thick. This year, the base model LS got a few more things as far as the safety equipment that before were options on upper trims or came with upper trims only. So this is a higher safety standard going on with this one. The stuff that was added, I believe, is the safety seat alert system, if I remember right, and the rear automatic braking I don't think was there before. So those are a couple of the things that were added this year. And then there is a max trailering package. It's available on every trim. It's standard on a couple of them. It includes things like hill descent control with the four-wheel drive models, integrated brake controller, radiator cooler, of course, things like that. And that's, if you're going to tow with this, and otherwise if you're not, I don't know why you're getting a full-size SUV like this. You should be getting a more car-based SUV. But if you are towing, that's the whole point of a truck-based SUV, then you really should add that package. With that max towing package, you are getting 8,400 pounds of towing in the base engine versions. You're getting 8,200 pound towing in the 6.2 V8 and the diesel versions. The reason that the towing is limited right there because of the weight of the chassis, the amount of weight the chassis can handle. Those two engines add weight, so they subtract from the towing capacity. That's how that works. But you will get very smooth towing out of the diesel. You get decent towing out of the 6.2, and you'll get okay towing out of the 5.3. So those are kind of where you're at with towing. Other than that, this is a beautiful vehicle. Like I've said, the interior is really well done. It's not as upscale as you would maybe think given the price tag on this, but it is a very well done interior in terms of kind of the layout and the size. Cargo is really good, and I already mentioned the towing. So pricing on this, you're going to start in the LS at $65,000. So $60,500. That's how I should have said that. For the base model. From there, you're just going to go up. The mid-range on this is about $68,500. That's the RST. And then the High Country tops everything out at a little over $80,000. So there you go. That's my look at the 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe. Really well done big SUV. All right, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.